Hello everybody, Timothy Bailey with Project Learn and our video for today. Today we are looking at visual data. Now you might not know what that means. You'll know it when I show you some examples, but let's talk about what it means. Visual is about something that we see, a picture or an image. Visual focuses on what you see, okay? So even though we use our eyes to read, right? Reading is not necessarily a visual representation. A painting is visual. A photograph is visual. Data is all about information. Okay? Now we use data for our cell phones and stuff as well, right? That's sort of related. The information that's coming in and going out of your cell phone when you make calls or you search the internet. For data, it's what you want people to learn. Okay? That's what we're looking at right now. So visual data has traditionally been represented in things like these: pie charts, bar charts. Right? These are sort of our traditional representations of data, of information, so that people can see by looking at them how the information's related, or where the information is leading, or where it comes from, any number of things. Let's go ahead and look at some charts and talk about what they are. So here's a chart, right? Now, traditionally, for a chart like this, we have two parts. We have the y-axis going up and down, vertical, and the x-axis going left and right and horizontal. So for this one, that's important. What do these x and y axes tell us? Here we have percents, negative percents, so a decrease, right, going down. Here we have dates, 2012 all the way to 2020, every 2 years. We have a title: bus ridership in Miami, Minneapolis, Atlanta, and Portland, Oregon. So 4 different big American cities. And we can see them here as well. To visually help us, each of these cities also gets its own color. So Miami is green, Minneapolis is pink, Atlanta is blue, and Portland is orange. So we know we're talking about riding the bus in these cities. We know we're talking about a decrease in people riding the bus over this time period. Okay? Starting before, actually, right? 2010, we would say this is. So what do we see when we start interpreting the chart? Well, we see bus ridership really started going down sort of around 2015, right? 2015, 2016, bus riding really went down, right, in this time. It went down the most in Miami, down 30 or more percent, and it went down the least in Portland, Oregon, with Atlanta and Minneapolis sort of being in the middle. Another thing we could say about Miami is it had the highest level of bus ridership, and it also went decreased the most. Okay? So this is some information we could take from this visual data. Try another one. So here's another one. This one, we don't have an X and a Y. We have 2 separate bars here, including streaming and traditional sales only. We have some explanation of the colors. And we have our title, 2018 Music Consumption by Genre. Genre is the kind of music. We also use this word for movies and books as well. Consumption here means to be what you take in, what you purchase, what you listen to, right? So streaming, for those of you that know, right, are things like Spotify and Apple Music. Traditional sales then would be going to the store and buying a CD. So what is this chart telling us? Well, it's telling us about the different groups, the different kinds of music. So for example, for streaming or including streaming, right, with the traditional sales, most of R&B and hip hop is included in this, right? Traditional sales plus streaming. The smallest amount would be country. If we go to traditional sales only, buying a CD, rock music at 33% is the most. So 33% of the people coming into a store that sells music, such as CDs, are looking for rock music. Now the people that are looking for CDs and streaming music, 54, over half, are looking for R&B or hip hop. Let's try another one. So this one, again, we have the X and we have the Y. So increasing fast food sales, so a lot of fast food sales, more, and decreasing. Decreasing wealth, the amount of money people have, increasing wealth, the amount of money people have. Also, we have up here, so lower middle income, upper middle income, and high income. So we could sort of identify this as wealthier, sort of middle class, and the bottom of the middle class, or the upper end of people living in poverty, perhaps, right? Okay, although they might cut it off before that. So what it's telling us, if we look, the countries where increasing wealth is occurring, right, are also, many of them, increasing fast food sales. You can see these here. What is interesting also is that many of those, if you see, aren't from the wealthy end, but from the middle class and a little bit lower, such as Egypt and India and Vietnam and China as well. As people are getting more money, they're buying more fast food. So down here, right, as wealth is decreasing, people are buying less food, right? Less fast food, right? Less fast food. Let's try another one. Get my chart to work. There we go. So this one, again, we have the X and the Y. The Y is, again, percents from 0% all the way up to 100. The percent of nutritionists, people who study healthy eating, that say a food is healthy. Here, again, a percent, the percentage of all Americans saying a food is healthy. So Americans saying this food is healthy, food scientists, nutritionists who are saying this food is healthy. So this one's interesting. If we go over here, right, there's a large group that both seem to say are not healthy, right? Junk food and fast food, hamburgers and pizza and beer and French fries. So this makes sense. And then there are traditional things such as vegetables, right, and fruits that both are saying are healthy, Americans and nutritionists. But then we have some here. And if you look at this chart, these are perhaps the most interesting. So things like popcorn and sushi, right? These two nutritionists are saying are healthy, right? Over half of the nutritionists say these are healthy, and tofu. But Americans, not as much, right? About 50% as well, right? But it's not as much as people that were talking about things like carrots. Another interesting visual here is what is often marketed as healthy: granola, coconut oil, frozen yogurt, granola bars. These things, Americans seem to be saying are healthy, but less nutritionists are saying they are healthy. And if we assume that nutritionists who study food and food health, right, nutrition, if we assume that their research and what they study is accurate, then it seems like Americans are thinking things are healthy that maybe are not, right? Now, why is it important to be able to look at charts and graphs? Well, one of the reasons it's important is to compare them. This chart here talks about the ages of first-time mothers in 1980. So when mothers had their first child in 1980, and you can see, right, most of, looks like maybe 9% or 10% of mothers, if we go down, were around 19. So 19 and 20, the two highest, right, percentages. And then it goes down as women get older. But if we look at age of first-time mothers in 2016, visually you can very quickly see there is a difference in what has been happening in these years. This one has one peak, one high point really, here. This one sort of has two. So again, we're about the same, right? A little bit older, so 20, right? 21. But then there's another one over here when women are slightly older, they're 28 or 29, and again they are having their first child. And that was not the case over here. So you might see a chart like this in an article talking about why, what women, what first-time mothers are doing during this time that they didn't do here, right? How their lives have changed. And you might see two charts like this to demonstrate or illustrate what the article is talking about. Look around, look in books, look on the news. There are charts and graphs and visual data everywhere. A couple of these websites also give you the language to talk about those as if you are going to present them. Ladies and gentlemen, in this chart you will see that sort of thing. Also, the New York Times, what's going on in this graph is where I got these graphs from. You can go there and check out any number of other graphs and charts. I hope this was interesting and helpful. Thank you and have a great day.